Imagine being thrown into a pit filled with hungry lions, sharp teeth, glowing eyes, growls echoing in the dark, and knowing there's no escape. What would you do? This isn't a movie. It's a real story from the Bible about a man named Daniel who faced certain death but walked out alive. How? Let's dive into the story of Daniel in the lion's den. A long time ago, in the land of Babylon, there lived a man named Daniel. Daniel wasn't just an ordinary man. He was wise, honest, and faithful to God. Because of his character, the new king, King Darius, trusted him more than anyone else. In fact, the king planned to make Daniel the leader over the whole kingdom. But not everyone was happy about this. The other officials were jealous. They didn't like Daniel being so respected, so they started plotting. They wanted to bring him down, but Daniel was so faithful and trustworthy that they couldn't find a single thing wrong with him. Except one thing: Daniel always prayed to his God. And that gave them an idea. The jealous officials hurried to King Darius with a clever plan. They said, "O king, we think you should make a law. For the next 30 days, no one is allowed to pray to anyone, human or God, except you. If anyone disobeys, they'll be thrown into the lion's den." King Darius liked the sound of it. Without thinking of Daniel, he signed the law. Now, Daniel knew about this law, but he also knew he could never stop praying to God. So, just like always, he went up to his room, opened his windows toward Jerusalem, and prayed 3 times a day. He didn't hide it. He didn't change it. Daniel stayed faithful. Of course, the jealous officials were watching. The moment they saw Daniel praying, they rushed back to the king. "O king, Daniel is breaking your law. He's praying to his God instead of you." King Darius was heartbroken. He admired Daniel and didn't want to punish him. But once a law was signed in Babylon, not even the king could change it. So, with a heavy heart, King Darius ordered Daniel to be thrown into the den of lions.
That night, Daniel was lowered into the dark pit. The lions prowled around, their eyes glowing, their teeth sharp. Before sealing the den, the king said, "May your God, whom you serve so faithfully, rescue you." Then a huge stone was rolled over the entrance, and Daniel was left inside. King Darius went back to his palace, but he couldn't eat, he couldn't sleep. He was worried sick. All night long he hoped for a miracle.
At the first light of dawn, King Darius hurried to the lion's den. His voice shook as he called out, "Daniel, servant of the living God, has your God been able to rescue you from the lions?" And from inside the den came Daniel's voice. "O king, live forever. My God sent his angel, and he shut the mouths of the lions. They have not hurt me because I was found innocent in his sight." The king was overjoyed. Daniel was lifted out safe and unharmed. The lions had not touched him. Then King Darius sent out a new order to his entire kingdom. Everyone should respect the God of Daniel because he is the living God who saves and rescues. Here's the lesson we can carry today. When you stand firm in your faith, even in the face of fear, God stands with you. Daniel's story reminds us that no situation is too dark, no problem too big, and no enemy too strong for God to handle. So when life feels like a lion's den, remember, God is still able to shut the mouths of lions. Thanks for joining me for the story of Daniel in the lion's den. If this story inspired you, thanks for joining us today. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs courage today.